Good morning, afternoon, and/or evening, everyone. I'm here today back in the kitchen. Today we're going to be taking our best crack at trying to make blackberry pie. So to start this grueling process, we're going to start off first by forming our pie crust, as this will be the most labor-intensive step. So to start out here, we're just adding 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour into our bowl, and then 1/4 teaspoons of salt, and then we're just going to quickly combine that together. Then after we get that all combined together, we're going to take 1 cold stick of butter. It is essential that this stick of butter is cold, otherwise it'll melt into our flour and won't form well. So once we get our butter cut into cubes, we're going to transfer it over to our flour. Then we're going to take you're going to watch me struggle with the pastry cutter actually, to try to get it pressed into our flour properly. Once we combine our butter into our flour, we're going to take 1 cup of very cold water and add it in 1 teaspoon at a time until it just starts to come together. Once it comes together, we're going to roll it into a ball and wrap it in plastic wrap and then let it chill in the fridge for around 4 hours. While we let our dough rest in the fridge, here we're going to make the filling for our blackberry pie. So we take 30 ounces of blackberries and mix them with a 1/4 cup each of flour and sugar. And at the very end, add in a tablespoon of lemon juice. We're going to transfer our filling over to a bigger bowl and then mix it together until it forms sort of a gummy texture on the outside of the blackberries. And now the part about this project I've been dreading most has finally come. It's time to pull our pie crust out of the fridge and start to roll it out. So we start out with our pie crust by dividing it in half, as we're going to have a bottom layer and a top layer. So we take our first half of pie crust, flour our work surface very well, we don't want it sticking to the counter, and then we begin to roll it out with our rolling pin. We're then going to carefully lift our pie crust and place it into our pan, and gently press it into the sides to make sure it sticks. After we get the crust laid down, we're then going to come back in with our filling and then add it into our pie. After we add our filling in, we're then just going to repeat the same process with the other piece of dough. Now if you're wondering why I had a sudden costume change in the middle of this, it may be because someone forgot to buy enough blackberries and had to go out around 10 at night to go buy another thing of blackberries at Walmart right before they closed. But I don't know. And just like before, we're going to carefully lift up our pie crust and then drape it over top. And here you can see me going around the edge of the pie crust and then crumping it with a fork just to make sure everything's nice and sealed. Once we finish crimping our crust, we're just going to take a small little butter knife and then make 4 slits in the top for steam to escape, because if you don't, your pie may explode in the oven. So after all that's said and done, we can finally go ahead and put our pie in the oven that we've had preheated for 425. Then we're going to bake it for 25 minutes, and then after 25 minutes, lower the temperature down to 375 and bake it for another 20. Now I'm not going to lie to you, having never made pie before, let alone making my own pie crust from scratch, I was a little nervous. So while it was in the oven, there wasn't much I can do, so I just found the best way I could to relax during the time. A little bit of Star Wars does indeed help relax the soul. So anyways, our pie is finished baking and I fetched it out of the oven, and this is how it turned out. Given it was a first time attempt, especially making my own pie crust, I'm pretty proud with how this turned out. This project has been a ton of fun. It's pushed me outside all kinds of different comfort zones, especially when it comes to my fear of pastry making, so that really helped with that. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Ms. Gibbs, for the opportunity to work on this project. These are always a lot of fun to do. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.